Hello and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. Today is Friday, February 10th, and I'm Cara Falco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. Before we get to your top stories and our guests, we'll start off by heading over to the Weather Center for a look at the weekend forecast. Meteorologist Mike Favetta. Not going to be a bad one, Mike.
Not bad at all, considering for the middle of February, we should have a little bit more cold. We got that last week. So this week, we continue with that mild trend. After starting off this morning, a little milder than usual, a lovely southwesterly breeze overnight, keeping things warmer than you'd expect for a February morning, especially out and about right now with the clear sky. That wind, here's New Jersey, and you can see that wind coming in across from the south and west, moving that milder air in. It'll feel very pleasant across the state throughout this afternoon, well above average, in fact, by later today. We may make it to 60 degrees in some parts of the state. Temperatures are cool this morning, but that sun quickly warming us well into the 50s and maybe beyond. There's some milder days ahead for next week. We'll let you know if there's any sign of winter coming up on the 7-day forecast, those details and more. And of course, promised yesterday, we'll take a look at some of the warmest Valentine's Day in recorded history here in the Garden State. We'll see how this year's mild Valentine's Day lines up and compares, and if it will be one of the warmest in New Jersey history. Those details in just a few minutes.
Looking good. Sounded good.
There you go. Something like it hot.
I see what you did there. See what you did. Thanks, Mike.
Let's go to checking the ride with Don Smith in the traffic center.
Yeah, thanks, Cara. Good morning, Kristina. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what the Valentine's Day, some of the warmest are from Professor Favetta in the Weather Center. Let's go towards our graphics here this morning. And we've had a lot of trouble in South Jersey, especially the Franklin Township, Vineland area. This is just new here this morning, and this is going to be on the eastbound side of Route 40, out by Route 47 and Delsea Drive in Franklin. All lanes are closed there with a pedestrian accident, so watch for that. Unfortunately, hopefully everyone's okay. Also, a down pole on 47 southbound in Vineland. All lanes are going to be closed. That is for a down utility pole. And then 47 also out by the Cumberland Mall, we're looking at a situation here with everything being shut, and that is for an accident investigation. It's been out there all morning long in this New Jersey Turnpike. Overturned tractor trailer, the entrance here at 10 in Edison, getting to the truck side of things, everything is going to be out of service. So we go to the maps. Here's that first issue here along 40. Not really seeing that much of a delay, so just keep it in the back of your mind as you are traveling out through that area. And the other was going to be here in the southern sections of Vineland, right before Millville by the Cumberland Mall along 47. So that may have cleared as well. It doesn't look like there's much traffic behind it. We widen up the scope here of South Jersey, Cape May, Atlantic City. That is still in pretty good shape. The area of Toms River looks good. So does the Turnpike and also 295, 195. Everything is fine all until you get up to here where we just had an earlier accident. Let me head over to the cameras here on Route 18, and we'll show you this. This is just as you come up to Route 1. It looks like it just cleared up heading southbound. There was a big crash here, took out 2 lanes in either direction, but we are still dealing with some of the residual effects of this crash along Route 18 in either direction here, getting out to Route 1. But as you see, the camera shows it that it is now gone. We also have trouble at the George Washington Bridge, still well over an hour. There's a problem on the eastbound cross Bronx in the city. So look for that under about 10 minutes here for the Lincoln and Holland. That's what's happening here in the traffic center. Next report, we'll give you a check of transit getting into the weekend.
Thanks so much, Don.
Well, to your top stories, and this one's a tough one. A school community is grieving after a Jersey City charter school teacher was found dead in Kearney. 33-year-old Luz Hernandez was reported missing after she didn't appear at the beloved charter school on Monday. Now, the Jersey Journal reports Hernandez could have been missing as early as last Saturday. The school was closed on Wednesday as a day of mourning, and counselors now available to help members of the community process their grief. She was a mom of 3 as well, and this is just shocking the community.
Yeah. And it's just so, it's so hard when somebody just goes missing like that. I mean, it's,
And then to be found like that in such a horrific way, it's just, it's terrifying. And I'm sure the investigation is ongoing. They don't have any leads as of right now, but, obviously that'll hopefully change in the next couple of days
Yeah.
next week too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, there's a new report out from rent.com that found that New Jersey has one of the highest rent increases in the nation. The data showed an 11.7% increase in median rent over the last 12 months, nearly triple the national average.
Yeah, the highest rent increase was in Atlantic County, where rents shot up 25% to an average of $1,765. Hunterdon County went up 13%. Hudson and Essex went up just over 11% as well.
Yeah, it's wild.
And that's post-pandemic too, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think, there's a lot kind of, coming to call from the pandemic. There was, those rent moratoriums, there was mortgage moratoriums, and now the banks are going, we'd like our money.
Yeah, we need to.
And so, it
Yeah.
all kind of goes downhill. I own investment property. If you've got to increase the rent to
Yeah.
cover that bill, there's
in order to
really
do
no
it.
way
Yeah.
around it.
It's all cyclical, so you have to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Speaking of expensive, advocacy groups are calling for state lawmakers to take action to make it less expensive to live here in the state, and one of them is Rosemary Becky, the president of the Jersey First organization.
We think what's at the core of this issue is, number one, our taxes are too high, right? Not only are our corporate taxes the worst in the nation, but so are our income taxes as well as our property taxes. And then the other thing, and what's driving our high taxes, is the spending that's going on here in New Jersey. And we really need to scale it back.
Well, Becky says she thinks that lowering the taxes could attract new investment into the Garden State.
I think we all know that sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
It's the how is always the issue.
Yeah, and it's been an issue for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys. We got a little football game going on this weekend. The Eagles are set on to take the Chiefs at the Super Bowl this Sunday, and there is no shortage of Jersey connections around this game.
Yeah, here now to tell us about some of them is our own Chris Sakonis. Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, happy to be on.
Yes.
Hey, so listen, you are our sports expert. What should people know about this matchup?
Well, the first thing they should know is if you like offense, you like high-powered offense, you're going to love this matchup. These are the two teams tied at the top of the NFL scoring average in points per game, just a touch under 29 points a game. And two of the best quarterbacks, two of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league will be squaring off. Of course, Patrick Mahomes has been a household name across the league for years now. But Jalen Hurts has played himself into the MVP conversation, throwing for just over 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, only 6 picks this year. So he has been electric for this Eagles offense. He is really the key reason. Of course, a lot of other weapons involved, but he is the key reason that they've been able to take it up to the next level. Of course, they made the playoffs last year, but didn't really go on the run that they're going on now. And, this is really – it's hard to argue that this isn't the best team in the AFC versus the best team in the NFC. So – it's a high-level matchup. It's a very dynamic matchup, and we think there's going to be a lot of scoring.
Yeah, I mean, and it also everything always comes back to New Jersey, right? Are there any key players, though, with Jersey roots?
Yeah, so this is really an interesting one. If you're a South Jersey person, if you're a Rutgers graduate as well, or a Rutgers fan, I should say, you're probably familiar with the name Isaiah Pacheco. He's the Chiefs running back, one of their running backs, I should say. Drafted in the 7th round, so towards the back end of the draft, after playing a full career at Rutgers. A lot of people didn't know what kind of role he'd have for the Chiefs heading into this, but he has really come into his own, and he has rushed for just over 800 yards this season, about 5 yards a carry, which is pretty efficient. And he has been just a dynamic piece on what's already a very loaded Chiefs offense. I mean, you talk about guys like Travis Kelce, whose brother plays for the Eagles. That's also another interesting storyline. And he's been able to fit in a very tough place to earn minutes for an offensive player. So, comes from Vineland. And that area, I'd have to think, ordinarily would be leaning more towards the Eagles. But to see the hometown kid do good on the biggest stage in American sports, hey, I think people in that part of the state and across the state would be pretty happy to see that.
It's going to be, I'm interested to see the matchup between the brothers. That's going to be,
Yes.
Imagine that conversation at the dinner table.
At the dinner table, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely going to go, Mom. Whoops. What's happening? Hey, Chris, so there's another Garden State link with the game, and this one is in the booth. All 3 announcers are New Jerseyans. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So Kevin Burkhardt, play-by-play man, first Super Bowl ever. North Jersey people in particular may remember him as the former Mets sideline reporter on the local broadcast. He stepped over to Fox. He's really stepped into this number one role. He's a William Patterson grad, former New Jersey Jackals announcer, and he is someone who has really quickly risen to the top of the ranks over at Fox. He'll be joined in the booth by another North Jersey guy, Greg Olson. Greg Olson has really turned heads for his analysis, recently retired player, sort of following in that sort of trend that got started by guys like Tony Romo, and now Tom Brady's going to be stepping into the booth starting next year with Fox. So that's going to be interesting. And then Tom Rinaldi, someone who has always been, one of the premier storytellers in sports broadcasting, covered a lot of college football and did a lot of other stuff for ESPN for a long time, came over to Fox, was also a part of their World Cup coverage, and he's been their top guy. And so to see all these Jersey connections, and I mean, I could talk for the full hour about all the sports broadcasters that have Jersey connections, if you let me, across the industry. But of course, we don't have that kind of time. But that's going to be another really cool element to see.
So what's your key thing to watch for this game other than Rihanna? That's what I'm in it for.
I'm really interested just to see the quarterback matchup. I mean, like I said before, these are the two of the high level quarterbacks in the NFL. To see them square off like that, it's not very often that you can see that. And, so many great matchups over the years. I mean, Brady Manning comes to mind. We've seen some really good ones in the Super Bowl. And I think, if this game goes the way I and a lot of people think it will go, this is going to be another page in that illustrious long book.
Interesting.
And that's, I think, ultimately, if you don't have a team per se in the game, but you love the sport, that's what you want out of the Super Bowl. You want to see a good game of football.
Right. You don't want to see a blowout.
You don't want to see anybody washed away or anything like that. Like, I want to see them do it well.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks so much.
You don't want to see what we saw. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, you also don't want to see what we saw in 2019 when we had a really hyped up matchup between the LA Rams and the New England Patriots, and ended up being a 10-3 game.
Yeah. Just miserable to watch. Chris, thank you so much for your insight. We always appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, well, coming up, more on the changes that could be coming for school lunches.
I'm always happy to hear about that. Plus, how Cedar Run Wildlife Refuge is gearing up for Valentine's Day.
This is a cute one. You could always find us on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and click follow.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drum Thwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America Show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America Show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Let's head back over to the Weather Center now with meteorologist Mike Favetta. Listen, in the 40s and 50s, what's happening here?
Yeah, and we could be in the 60s by this time next week. So the milder trend keeps on going. I know. We might even be at 60 at some places in New Jersey later today.
Wow.
Very warm weather. Much warmer than last weekend, so we'll take that. especially with that frigid air that came into New Jersey. But we've got Valentine's Day coming up, and on Tuesday, expected to be milder than average. Likely see those temperatures climb yet again. But how does that compare to Valentine's Day in the past? Well, some of the warmest Valentine's Days are listed here. The warmest in Newark, New Jersey at 65 degrees was way back in 1946. The second place, tied 3 years in a row, the most recent was in 2011. That was 60 degrees, and you see the others there back in 2000 and 2018. Our forecast for Tuesday is expected to be a little bit cooler, so we might make the top 10, but again, it's going to stay quite mild even throughout the next few days. So with our forecast over the afternoon looking much brighter going into the next few days, our 3-day outlook bringing back lots of sun for this afternoon, 56 degrees after those showers and clouds that we saw yesterday on Thursday. Saturday and Sunday, really seeing that sunshine with mostly sunny skies and temperatures cooling off just a bit. I think there'll be some extra clouds developing on Sunday, which could lead to a few late night showers, but even that clears out by Monday. So we've got a very dry Valentine's Day ahead and pretty mild weather ahead for next week. We'll talk more about that coming up with your 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
Looking good, especially if you have plans this weekend. It's not going to be a bad weekend to drive
Not a
around.
bad weekend to hang out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
And Don Smith has another check of the traffic for us.
Yeah, thanks, Cara and Kristina. And before we get to the maps, we'll actually just want to give a little quick postscript to what Chris was saying about the announcing team, Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson. Kevin Burkhardt was actually the sports director at WGHT North Jersey 1500 at Pompton Lakes and was actually announcing Greg Olson's games, football games at Wayne Hills High School. So a very interesting little postscript there to the announcing booth. Well, let's get you back over to the maps here. And South Jersey has been quite busy along Route 47. The first is this accident investigation still out by the Cumberland Mall, still taking out all lanes. And we also have everything shut down. Also heading south here at Oak Road in Vineland, and that's all because of a down utility pole. Still cleaning up this overturned tractor trailer on the New Jersey Turnpike. It's entering there at interchange 10, and that is for the truck lanes. The other big story here is this George Washington Bridge problem. I'm going to give you the freshest numbers now. Eastbound of the Cross Bronx, there was a broken down truck that took out 2 lanes just east of Jerome Avenue. If you're familiar with that area, it's basically kind of the back entrance to Yankee Stadium. So we're down from a high of about almost an hour and a half to now about 40 minutes here at the George and 10 to 15 at the Lincoln and Holland. So volume for the most part is down here this morning. It is a Friday. A lot of folks using the work from home situation, maybe even making a 3-day weekend or 4-day weekend if you consider maybe Monday is Super Bowl Monday as well. So south along Route 208, we're still all backed up here to getting out towards about Fairlawn Avenue into Maple Avenue, should say. 17 pretty busy here over in Rochelle Park, and then still dealing with some congestion on westbound 3 and westbound 46. That's just kind of normal through the construction. 80 looks good throughout Woodland Park. Totowa Patterson is going to be a smooth ride. 287 also in pretty good shape. Want to make our way over towards the Sparta area. I'm starting to see some backups here this morning up by the ShopRite both ways here, so just keep that in mind. Not sure if anything's going on or if there's any kind of road work or roving pothole repairs, but it is a little slower than what I'd like to see. Out to Western Jersey, 80-46. That is going to be looking good. 287 into Essex County, fine on the Parkway Turnpike. Union County Parkway, still in good shape. We're still trying to recover, though, here in Central Jersey on southbound 18. That actually just finished up a crash here out at Route 1, but it's the northbound side of Route 18 is all backed up getting into Route 27. So we'll take you out to that location along Route 18 this morning. And this is going to be through Route 27. We've seen this road work all week, and it continues to finish out the week. Again, the camera's pointing in the opposite direction, looking south, but northbound comes towards us. But that's where it starts to back up just before the Raritan River Bridge. And as I promised, a check of transit now, we're still looking. Let me hit the refresh here, see if anything's changed, but we're still looking up the 30-minute delays into and out of New York's Penn Station. That still remains because of an earlier disabled train in one of the Hudson River tunnels. So definitely give yourself plenty of extra travel time there as you progress on New Jersey Transit. And also PATH is going to be looking pretty good. Hoboken World Trade just resumed normal service. That's what's happening here in the traffic center. Cara, Kristina, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Don.
Well, construction work continues on the new Essex County College campus in West Caldwell. The new facility will replace the current campus where classes are held at an old elementary school.
We want to make sure we service the entire population of Essex County. There was a campus up there, but it was an old elementary school, and it was very much outdated. And you're asking somebody to participate to go to an elementary school, it just didn't make sense. So we want to make sure we boost our enrollment and that we cover not only Essex County, we cover Morris County, we cover Union County. We're going to make sure that the kids get a great education here and at a beautiful site.
Yeah, when completed, the campus will take up 51,700 square feet.
Wow. It's beautiful over there.
It's,
I drive past it often. It's going to be very nice. Absolutely. So the Belleville Police Department has started a new program to help law enforcement locate vulnerable people that have gone missing, like seniors or children with special needs. So it uses a voluntary tracking system to put individuals' contact information into a database. If that person goes missing, police already have information that they need to help find them safely. I've seen so many police departments and communities across New Jersey kind of opening up these registries for folks because it just, I think, they serve them twofold if they go missing, and then also just in any interaction where the police are as they should be interacting with the community, they're aware, okay, this person, is deaf, or this person has some sort of, cognitive where I need to, speak more clearly or more slowly or calmly or whatever it's going to be.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's going to be great. And it's for, people who are on the spectrum and people who are of an older generation that maybe get confused and they get lost and they wander off. So it's definitely going to be something great for the community. And it would be nice to see other communities sort of adopt this program.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it's voluntary.
Yeah, of course. Well, big changes could be on the way to schools in New Jersey and across the nation. On New Jersey's Monica Guy tells us what it could mean for the breakfasts and lunches many kids eat every day.
Well, good morning. Following up on the Biden administration's national strategy on hunger, nutrition, and health, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has been tasked with making school meals healthier.
For the next 10 years, my plan, as was already referenced, would make at least 9 million more children eligible for free school meals, a major first step for free meals for every single student. And we're also supporting schools so they can cook more meals from scratch, purchase more food from local farmers and ranchers.
Less sugar and sodium and boosting the number of whole grains. The changes will be phased in through 2027, and they could look something like this. Sugars would be limited in breakfast cereals and yogurts beginning in 2025. And then over the next 2 years, sugars will make up less than 10% of all of the calories in each meal. Sodium would be cut by 20%. And when it comes to whole grains, the USDA is considering two options. One calls for 80% of all grains offered during the school week to be whole grains. That means a lot less white bread for sandwiches. The other plan could allow for enriched grain foods, like flour tortillas. When it comes to milk, one option limits flavored milk for high school students, while the other allows flavored milk for all grades. Well, nothing is written in stone just yet, so don't stress over whether or not your kids will actually drink plain milk. Head to regulations.gov, follow the online instructions for posting comments and weighing in on what you think about the proposals. And remember, all comments are part of the public record. I'm Monica Guy reporting.
As someone who loves food and has studied nutrition, I mean, this is critical. It's still the food system in this country is profoundly broken.
Yes.
But this is a good step, and it's always, especially here in New Jersey, we're the Garden State for a reason. I think sometimes people, especially if you live up in northeastern New Jersey, just outside of Manhattan.
Yeah.
We grow a third of the country's blueberries, the cranberries. We do peach. I mean, apples, peppers. And it boggles my mind to this day that I can go to my local grocery store and the pint of blueberries that trucked across the country from Washington State are somehow less expensive than the ones that came from Salem County.
Right.
Why? Make it make sense.
Yeah.
And I love programs like this because those schools that are nearby, even Newark, New Jersey, Aero Farms is there. They do hydroponic farming. Grow the food for the kids.
Yeah. And it's all cyclical, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all connected. So you're helping out, the business as well and, getting fresh foods for the kids.
Into your kids. advocates.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. So I'm glad to see them start to move in that direction.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's amazing.
It's going to be good stuff. So Governor Murphy has announced a $25 million investment to prepare 10 New Jersey Revolutionary War sites to prepare for a surge in visitors ahead of the 250th anniversary of America's independence.
It's going to be a big party. Here now to talk about it is the co-executive director of the New Jersey Conservation Foundation, Jay Watson. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, and good morning.
Good morning. We are in unison today. Listen, Jay, what kind of work can we expect on these sites with this money?
Well, it's pretty remarkable that we're heading into the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and independence from Britain. And New Jersey is so rich in Revolutionary War history. We've had more battles and skirmishes here on our lands than any other state in the nation. General Washington spent more of his time here than any other state. So there's a lot to offer. And this funding that that Governor Murphy just announced is really to be visitor ready for when the semi-quincentennial celebrations begin in 2026. So we want to make sure that New Jersey is a destination and that people can take advantage of all of the amazing historic sites and historic landscapes that have been preserved around the state for many years.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally just around the corner, right? When you think about it. And you spent much of your career working on preserving these historic sites. And from your experience, how important is this money, not just for this celebration that's coming, but just in general?
Well, it's vitally important. The funding will be used to just make sure that when our anticipated many visitors come as part of these celebrations, that the historic sites, the structures, and the landscapes will be in great condition so that they will have an enjoyable experience and that we can interpret them to the fullest extent possible. So we really I've heard it say that we should look at this semi-quincentennial celebration as our Olympics. You know, how do we get our landscape prepared and ready for visitors, and really take advantage of the tourism, heritage tourism opportunities that are available through these initiatives. We have so many sites in New Jersey, historic sites that are in need of restoration, and to just make it easier for visitors and to improve upon our interpretive exhibits. And I think it's going to be just a marvelous start to what we need to do to attract visitors here.
And I mean, you just mentioned, I mean, there are so many sites here in New Jersey. I think sometimes people forget, you know, because we're geographically small, but I mean, this state played a absolutely massive role in the revolution and you know, battles and sites across the state here. What are some of the things that need to be approved upon as we head towards 2026?
Well, you're so absolutely right. As you know, we've had so much Revolutionary War history in New Jersey that we are deemed the crossroads of the American Revolution National Heritage Area, one of only 55 national heritage areas across the nation. And so there's so much here to see and to enjoy and to understand our history better. We're hoping that this funding will put us in a position to really attract visitors from around the world that will want to come and kind of understand kind of the making of a nation a little better.
That's fantastic. Where can people find out more information?
I think the best place to start is revolutionarynj.org, and that will lead you to the Crossroads of the American Revolution website, and it will just take you wherever you want to go. It's just so important. We have battlefields, and we have structures and cemeteries and taverns and the place where General Washington, you know, set up as his final command while in New Jersey. So we're so rich in Revolutionary War history here, and you know, I'm hoping that we get a lot of visitors in 2026, and I hope that a lot of people get engaged around the activities so that we can diversify the makeup of those things that we can offer to attract people to New Jersey.
It's all good stuff. We love having folks come here to beautiful New Jersey. Jay, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good one.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So much history here, and it's, you know, you forget.
I mean, I went to high school in Morristown, right outside General Washington's headquarters.
There you go.
Right there.
That's amazing. All right, well, up next, how a new bill looks to tamp down on attacks at youth sports events.
Wild. You can always find us over on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Click follow.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drum Thwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back. Let's get another check of that forecast with meteorologist Mike Favetta. And it's just Valentine's Day is going to be steamy. That's all there is.
Yeah, considering how warm the air will be, there's love in the air when you consider how much warmth is around. Even for this weekend, when we look at even the longer range trend beyond the 7-day forecast, we will likely see temperatures as high as the mid 60s going into the latter part of the week and next week. Let's look at some weather headlines. And while temperatures do cool off just a touch back down to still above average for Saturday and Sunday, they bounce right back into the 50s and 60s for next week. We showed you earlier that little bit of a shower chance for Sunday. That's later on at night. And then we move right back into mild and dry weather to start off next week, especially for Valentine's Day. So very pleasant weather ahead as we head into next week. Looking ahead at the weekend outlook, I thought I had another graphic here for you. Oh, okay. Well, the weekend outlook starts off nice and dry with tomorrow's weather beginning in the mid 40s, 43 degrees for you in Morristown, 46 in Newark, and 44 in Trenton. Typically, we should be in the upper 30s. So we're still running a few degrees above average, even for Sunday, where Sunday has a little bit of rain moving in later on at night. It's probably going to be mostly cloudy throughout most of the morning into the midday, and then the rain takes over later on in the evening. Here is the 7-day forecast that shows we're back in the 50s come Monday and Tuesday. Mild weather is back on Valentine's Day, 52 throughout the afternoon. And then we'll likely see a few clouds and maybe a late day sprinkle there on Wednesday, with Thursday seeing that mild trend continue. So some pretty decent weather ahead. No freezing weather on the board. Even later on at night, we may have a few areas that are below the 32-degree mark on Saturday morning, but with all the sunshine tomorrow, we quickly bounce back and it'll look very pleasant. There's a bit of a dip in temperatures for next weekend, but even that is so brief. I think the warm up beyond that, well into the 60s, will likely counteract whatever chill arrives next weekend. So still looking good and staying mild, and no prolonged Arctic air outbreaks are in the forecast. So that'll keep us nice and mild, I think, through the rest of at least the foreseeable future.
I literally cannot believe this forecast. This winter has just been incredible. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
All right, let's see if the roads are kind. Let's head back to Don Smith for some traffic.
Yeah, thanks, Kristina. Good morning, Cara. Really not too kind if you're traveling up to Rutgers here along Route 18. Let's get you over to the maps. This is that midday road work. We've seen this go out all week long for the last couple of weeks, just north of Route 27. And you can see it is a bit of a parking lot here now, again, just north of 27, extending to just before you get onto the John Lynch Bridge there. So the Lynch Bridge looks like that is where the repair is actually taking place here this morning as you make your way north along Route 18. Let's widen up the maps and we'll stick around here and talk to you about the turnpike. Looks pretty good. They're still cleaning up this overturned tractor trailer. Let me see if it's still on the list here. Entering at interchange 10 at Edison off of 44287. That's for the truck side of things. That is still being cleaned up. Also, broken down tractor trailer westbound on 80 just as you come into the 46 interchange here out by 47B. So that's closing up a lane. And then 47 southbound here, Oak Road and Vineland, everything is shut. And that's with a down utility pole. And another investigation's been out there all morning long out by the Cumberland Mall in both directions on 47. Just go with the locally posted detour for you. We widen it up. Again, Parkway across the Driscoll Bridge is fine. Goethals, Bayonne, Outer Bridge Crossing looks good. Again, volume is down for the most part here on a Friday. That's what we've been seeing over the last month or so with the work from home situation. A lot of folks are not going into the office on Mondays and Fridays since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday type of drill. But nonetheless, there is a little bit of volume along 208 getting in towards Maple Avenue, Fairlawn out of the Parkway, Turnpike, 280, all in great shape. Going to Central Jersey, 195 is fine. A little sluggish here along, looks like Route 33 coming off of right at 34 out by the Farmingdale Circle there this morning. But other than that, everything for the most part for the rest of the state, we are in good shape. But we do have some big issues along New Jersey Transit, friends, and this is going to be on all lines getting into and out of Penn Station in New York City. The Penn Station there up to 30 minutes because of earlier broken down train in one of the Hudson River tunnels. So keep that in mind if you are going to be traveling here this morning. Hudson River crossings, we're still about 25 to 30. Our problems in the Cross Bronx have cleared, but it's still taking some time to clear the delays. Under about 10 minutes at the Holland and Path. Hoboken World Trade is resuming normal service. That's what's happening here in the traffic center. Cara, Kristina, send it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Don.
So February is American Heart Month, and the American Heart Association is raising awareness of the risks posed by cardiovascular disease and how people can reduce the danger. Their New Jersey ambassador, Dr. Yanting Wang of Atlantic Cardiology in Neptune, highlighted the need to know what to do if you encounter cardiac arrest as a bystander.
About 350,000 cardiac arrests happen out of the hospital in the United States, and only 10% of these cardiac arrests have survivors. However, hands-only CPR can increase your survivorship by twofold, and therefore it's really important to be able to initiate hands-only CPR right away without any delay.
So important. The association is trying to highlight the recent experience of Bills player Damar Hamlin with the number 3 for Heart CPR challenge. And I mean, CPR was something that we learned like in high school health. I don't know that I've revisited it since.
Yeah, you need to be certified for it too.
You need to be,
so take the classes.
But just to have the knowledge,
just
I think.
To have the
knowledge,
in
that case of an emergency. But again, I mean, it's not something that I feel like people are updated on regularly as adults.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. It's really, it's not hard to learn, and it's steps and. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like how to use a defibrillator, too. They have it listed right on there. It's just a matter of getting those defibs in the places that matter, right? Yeah. So it's all about heart health and becoming educated and, keeping up with all of that
and just
stuff.
Keeping on top of it, yeah, absolutely.
Well, this one's a new bill in the state legislature. It could stiffen the penalties for anyone who attacks a youth sports official. If passed, a physical assault on a sports official would be increased from simple to aggravated assault.
Which makes sense. The measure comes in the wake of several attacks in the Garden State, including a 72-year-old umpire who was assaulted at a youth baseball game in Branchburg. It recently cleared the Assembly Judiciary Committee and will now head to a full Assembly vote. And this is, I mean, it's unfortunate that sometimes we make these laws and it's like, it like makes your head hurt that they even need to exist in the first place.
But they do because people get out of hand.
People get out of hand. And I just, you do really want to just look at people and be like, it's kids' sports. First of all, what are you teaching your kids about sportsmanship? What are you teaching them about, losing gracefully, learning from their mistakes?
It's horrifying.
I mean,
and that particular case was horrifying because he was 72 years old.
Yeah,
and it's like, really? It's happened a couple times in the past couple months.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like it's something you hear about often, too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, Let's move on to our next guest. This is super cute, actually. The Cedar Run Wildlife Refuge in Medford is having a Valentine's Day with the animals this weekend. Here now to tell us more is Tracy Bloodworth, the Refuge Director of Development and Communications. Good morning, Tracy. How you doing?
Good morning. I am very well. How are you, ladies?
Good. Where are you exactly at the zoo?
So I am at Medford, New Jersey, and we are Woodford Cedar Run Wildlife Refuge. We are a refuge and an education center, as well as we have trails that people can visit, and we're open to the public 7 days a week.
That's so fun. And you have this Valentine's Day with the animals. Tell us about this.
Yes, so we have tours for couples, and that is happening on this Sunday. So, you know, right before Super Bowl, you can come out with your honey and and definitely see some wildlife, New Jersey wildlife. We even have a bald eagle, Haley. So for good luck, you can come and get a tour with our educators, learn more about our native wildlife, support a nonprofit that is doing really great work, and celebrate a little bit more this holiday season.
I love it. It's such a cute idea. Where did the idea, the concept come from?
So our education team is really, really wonderful. So we definitely love sharing a whole bunch of more information about native wildlife with others. And what better way to do that than in nature and the wild? So we love Valentine's Day, and yep.
How do you hope this is going to draw more attention to the refuge and the work that you're doing?
So what we focus on is habitat preservation, wildlife rehabilitation, and environmental education. So just kind of spreading the word a little bit more about why we want to protect and preserve our native wildlife and to see them a little bit more up close. So we actually have over 60 or over 55 animals that are all New Jersey native that the public can come visit. But for the tour this weekend, that is for the couples, they will actually see and learn a little bit more from our education team.
And it's gonna be great weather for it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Tracy, where can we find out more? And just really briefly for folks, what would be the difference between a zoo and a refuge? You know, this is kind of not necessarily the exact same experience, right?
Correct. Yep. So a zoo, they also focus on conservation, and while a zoo does have a little bit more exotic animals, a wildlife refuge like Cedar Run Wildlife Refuge, we focus on New Jersey native wildlife. Our whole primary goal is to rehabilitate, to release back into the wild. So we actually do have a wildlife hospital on site that we see over 6,300 different animals that are all New Jersey native to rehab, to release. So you can check out cedarrun.org. And again, we're in Medford. We have a wildlife baby shower coming up as well this Saturday. We prepare for over 4,000 baby animals coming in anytime between April and September. So we definitely are looking forward to celebrating and seeing everybody, as well as collecting donations to help us, you know.
Amazing. Oh, baby. Tracy.
4,000. Wow.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for joining us this morning and giving us that information. We hope we have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
4,000.
That's a lot of mom's work.
That's a lot of mamas. All right, guys, coming up, we will get one final look at traffic and weather.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. Plus, a lot of the latest in entertainment news in the Bear Buzz.
You can always find us over on social media. Search at NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Click follow.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drumthwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has one final check of your weekend forecast. And Mike, it's beautiful. It's spring. Yeah. Spring is way early.
Spring is very early, and it looks like it's sticking around. This isn't one of those false starts where all of a sudden we get 2 feet of snow. The next week, I think that we're going to stay mild. I think we're going to stay mild for the next several days, and including next weekend where there's a little dip in temperatures, but that just brings us back down to average. So that's not really saying much in terms of how mild it was this winter. Through the next 7 days, there is a little bit of a dip in temperatures this weekend, but notice how even overnight, most of New Jersey stays at or above the freezing mark. We're in the 40s each day tomorrow and Sunday, with more sunshine tomorrow, more clouds on Sunday, and then a late night shower Sunday evening. Monday returns to the 50s. It is sunny and dry through Tuesday on Valentine's Day, probably top 10 warmest Valentine's Day here in New Jersey, with Wednesday bringing back even milder weather. A few showers later on Wednesday promotes more sun by Thursday. Couldn't we get to 60 degrees next week? I think it's possible in the cities. That's how mild this winter is trending. Way above average and breaking records, probably again for the month of February in terms of average monthly temperature. We did it in January. We broke the record for the average month as a whole, warmed up to a few degrees above average and broke that record. I have a feeling we'll do it again for February and still not see much, if any, snow.
Wow. I'm very rarely speechless.
I'm very skeptic. I'm like, is there going to be a snowstorm in
I'm
April?
definitely. I was gonna say I'm still on the like the Easter Sunday snowstorm kind of a deal.
I hope not.
We'll see.
All right, Mike.
Okay.
Thanks, you.
Mike.
You bet.
Here's Don Smith with a final check of the traffic.
Thank you, Kristina, and good morning, Karen. Good morning, Mike. Yeah, our final look at the traffic here. We go to the list, and we still have a couple of issues on 47, and this just got updated as Mike was wrapping up his weather segment here. The investigation of 47 continues up at the Cumberland Mall by College Drive. All lanes are shut down there, and that's been out there since early this morning. Also, 47 is shut down at Oak Road in Vineland, so tough drive there along 47 throughout the Vineland area. And this overturned tractor trailer that's still being cleaned up. That's on the entrance ramp to the truck lanes at Interchange 10. Let's go to the maps. We still have some delays here, but slowly thinning out along Route 18 going north into the John Lynch Bridge into New Brunswick, and that is all for construction, and that's going to wrap up just about 2:30. But as we widen up the map, you can see for the most part, it is really great all around. 287, 78, 287. 80 is fine. Let's head to the northwest section of the state. We didn't want to leave our friends out there. 206, 23 throughout Wantage and Sussex. That's going to be looking good into Hamburg and Franklin. Oak Ridge, that is fine. Riverdale, 287, Oakland. Ramsey, Mahwah, we are going to be clear here this morning, and that's the Cuomo Tappan Sea Bridge coming back into Rockland County, so it's not going to affect anyone coming from New Jersey. But the westbound side of Route 4 seems to be a little tied up here out by Hackensack Avenue. And as I say that, there is a camera there. So let's see if we can bring that to the conversation and see if we are able to pick up anything as far as, I don't see anything. That's westbound coming towards us, but we'll go out here towards Route 17 to see if any of the cones are set up. No, that's more, no, I don't see anything there as well. But reports are saying that there could be some construction out by the Hackensack Riverside Square Mall there. Westbound 46 is heavy out through Little Falls, but as again we widen it up, Parkway Turnpike, fantastic. Let's head quickly down the shore here. It's fine on the Parkway 35. Maybe get out and enjoy some of this golden sunshine here across the area onto the boardwalk in Asbury Park, Long Branch, Seaside Heights, Point Pleasant. Go walk the boards there. South Jersey, again, for the other than the two issues on 47, we're looking good. We go to New Jersey Transit, still up to 30-minute delays in either direction, getting into Penn Station in the city, and that's from an earlier broken down frame. Lots what's happening here in the traffic center. A fantastic Friday and a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, time now for some Behr Buzz entertainment news. And Lizzo's seeing double right there. Yeah, the singer met her wax doppelganger visiting Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in Las Vegas on Twitter. She posted this short video of herself getting up close and personal with her wax replica, pretending to kiss herself. She joked, quote, single-handedly one of the most terrifyingly meta moments of my life. Her figure joining the museum's most recent additions, including Missy Elliott, Beyonce, RuPaul, and more. Very cool. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence announced they're reuniting for another sequel in their Bad Boys franchise. Smith took to social media with this video with the news of Bad Boys 4. The film is currently in pre-production, and of course it'll be interesting to see if fans actually go see the film since the fallout of Will Smith's infamous Oscar slap on Chris Rock. So speaking of which, tennis great Serena Williams spoke out for the first time about that incident. That slap, of course, taking place shortly before Will Smith won the 2022 Oscar for Best Actor in King Richard. That's a movie about Venus and Serena Williams. Now on CBS this morning, she told Gayle King in part, quote, I've been there. I've made a mistake. It's not the end of the world. We're all human. Let's just be kind to each other. Pretty interesting there. Smith has been banned from returning to the award show for the next 10 years. By the way, the 2023 Oscars will air Sunday, March 12th. I will be watching. But yeah, I mean, she's kind of like, all right, guys, let's get over it. You know, it happened. We made mistakes. He's apologized numerous times, and let's move forward.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, and I think he's got a solid enough fan. I mean,
I think by the time that movie comes out, I feel like people will have been like, all right, enough already. I just want to be entertained.
Yes.
I want to see this movie that's nostalgia. It's the fourth,
Right.
I feel like people are definitely more forgiving of things like that.
Yes,
than,
absolutely.
Because at this point, a year later, I feel like people are like, whatever, okay. They were like that 2 weeks after the slap hit, too.
Yeah. And there's just so much there, and it's and again, Will Smith has been part of our lives since we were teenagers.
Right.
I mean, we grew up with him.
Everybody's human.
Everybody's human.
Was it right? No,
absolutely
but,
not. But it's like, are you gonna crucify someone and completely end their career? Like she said,
Right.
because they made a mistake.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting
to see what happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for all that entertainment news, my friend.
You're welcome.
That does it for us today on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. We'll see you back here next Thursday at 9 a.m.